This is a quick introduction to Skylight Analytics and third-party data. In this example, we're going to use Cisco iOS XR streaming telemetry data as an example of how we ingest third-party data into Skylight Analytics. In this case, we've configured a Cisco iOS XR device to connect to Skylight Roadrunner, our collector. Then we configure Roadrunner to accept those connections, and we stream the data from Roadrunner into Skylight Analytics, where we can use it alongside native Accedian data and other data sources to perform visualization, generate alerts, and get insight into customer experience. So I'm logged into Skylight Analytics again. This time again as an administrative user, so I've got all of the different pieces here. And I'm going to go look at settings and connections. And you can see here that I've set up my connector, or my Roadrunner as we call it, to pull telemetry. In this case, it's dial-out telemetry, Cisco telemetry, and this is the IP address of the router and port that we're collecting it from in a zone, so I can split them up if I have multiple collectors going on in my network. So this essentially allows the Roadrunner to download this configuration and accept the connection from the router and using this IP address and port. And if the router is configured for dial-out telemetry, then it will start streaming data into the system. Now, if I go look at data ingestion and I check out Cisco telemetry, for example, I can see here that we collect some node data, and you can see some of that node data is enabled, and also some interface data. So you can see some of those interface statistics are enabled as well. If I go into network, for example, I think the name of my router is simply iOS. So there you go. Right, you can see all the interfaces that I'm collecting from that specific router. In this case, it's an NCS 5500, I think, so it's quite large number of interfaces. So you could go potentially look at one of these, and you will see all the different data that we're collecting, right? So, for example, I could look at input data rate and so on and so forth, and it will graph that data for me. So that's the raw data being ingested. We could also go and look at a dashboard. So, for example, I could be building a dashboard that I'm using internally or sharing with a customer, my end customer. And in this case, you can see here that I've got uplook and download throughput information, in this case aggregated across all the interfaces, but I could break it down by interface or use metadata to break it down further. But you can see here I am showing some Accedian TWAMP and some Cisco telemetry information on the same dashboard. I could even show them on the same graph. So this is an example of using third-party data along with Accedian data inside Skylight Analytics to provide better visibility for customers.